Hey there, physical science students. This is Miss Ruark, and we are starting Unit 2 with an overview of forces. So let's get to work. All right, maybe, if this will work. There we go. What is a force? All right, a force is an action that's exerted on a body in order to change the state of rest or the state of motion. So we're either trying to push something to make it go, we're trying to get something to stop, we're trying to make it go faster, we're trying to make it go slower. Okay, force does have magnitude and direction, so therefore it is a vector. And here's some examples. So what is a force? A force can be a push or a pull. It starts things moving, it stops things from moving, it makes an object change direction, it can change the object's shape, it can speed it up or slow it down. If we want to calculate force, we use the formula F is equal to m times A. F stands for force, m stands for mass, and A stands for acceleration. So it's mass times acceleration. All right, why do things move and why do things stay still? Well, there's this thing called inertia, which is the tendency of an object to resist a change in motion unless an outside force acts upon the object. So what in the world does that mean? Well, real quick, think about it. You're riding in a car and somebody who's driving slams on the brakes real quick because you're trying to put your lipstick on, or you're not paying attention, or you're being annoying and they want to just play with you, right? You know, your friends do that all the time. Okay, or if you're in the car with somebody who's responsible and they slam on their brakes because somebody pulled out in front of them, what does your body do? Well, your body is moving in the car and it wants to keep going, so it keeps going forward, and you have to have the seatbelt there to keep you from going forward. All right, well, here's another example. Let's say that you're sitting down at home, okay, and I know this happens all the time. You get home, you're sitting down, and you get ready to turn on the TV, and mom comes in. You know, mom, hey, did you do your chores yet? And then you go, oh, man, I just got home, and you want to stay in that nice, comfortable seat. I know, I do the same thing, too, but you gotta get up. So what's the outside force that acts on you to make you move? Well, it's your mom. Right, because you don't want her nagging you, you don't want her to take the car from you, etc. Okay, so gravity. Gravity is a force that pulls objects close. It's a force that pulls those objects together. The bigger the object, the larger the force of gravity. Our planet pulls everything towards the center of the Earth because it has a large gravity. However, our planet's gravity is kind of small in comparison to other gravities. All right, so gravity is something that will affect a person's weight but not their mass. All right, well, what's the difference between the two? Well, mass is it determines how much matter is in an object. Okay, the weight is the measure of gravity pulling on that object. So it can change depending on where you're at in the universe. Okay, so if you are on the Earth, your weight might be 130 pounds. When you go up to the moon, your weight might be, I don't know what the gravitational pull of the moon is, but let's just say it's 20 pounds. Woo! That diet worked out real good for you, didn't it? No, it really didn't. It's just that the gravitational pull is less. So, all right. Action and reaction. For every action, there is a reaction. So here we have a person who's getting ready to step out of a boat. When this person steps out of the boat, what's going to happen to the boat? It's going to go flying behind them, right? Okay, so another example of an action and a reaction. I bounce the ball. So I throw the ball towards the ground, and then it bounces back up towards me. Okay, action and reaction. We're walking down the hall, and I push somebody. You know they're going to react. It's not the kind of reaction we're talking about here, but you know they're going to react, right? And then the last one here is that if you gossip about somebody, you know there's your action. The reaction that they're going to get is probably not going to be a good one, so let's not gossip. All right. Okay, motion and momentum. See, this is just an overview of the unit, and then we're going to break them all down. So, motion and momentum. Motion is an object's change in position relative to a reference point. So, if you were to think of a reference point, let's say what would be a good one for you guys? Let's say that we are in New York City and we're on a boat and we're going past the Statue of Liberty. Okay, the Statue of Liberty stays still, and we know that we're moving down the river. So, and we know that because we're moving past the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty would be the reference point. Okay, momentum is defined as the product of the mass and the velocity of an object. And I showed these pictures here because that's something that we always think of when we think of physics. And well, even though this is physical science, guess what, boys and girls? It is physics. We're just breaking it down for you. All right, so to finish this up, since this is force, may the force be with you. All right, I'll see you in class.